The future lies in the West. We will bring progress to this barren swath of land full of simple-minded country bumpkins and savage natives. But transporting the required goods is painstaking and expensive. A railroad from east to west, now that would be a real gold mine. But the competition never sleeps. The Central Pacific Railroad has already started construction on a line from the Pacific. Let's beat... Welcome to the Wild West. It is the year 1864, and we find ourselves in the train. If we want to beat the competition to the goal, we'll need more workers, and workers need feeding. Once the men are half full, this business with food could generate some extra income for us.
Welcome to Total Corruption Gamings with your host, Eric Talon87, to JJ McGillicutty's Transporting Tycooning Empire. In this campaign, we will attempt to open up the Wild West for the benefit of hard-working families who have decided to settle down here and make a home. In this particular episode, we will be attempting to run a railroad from Cheyenne to meet the Pacific Railroad line in the far west. Let's get started.
Okay. All right. New line from here to here. Load. Cheyenne farm to storage. There we go. Okay, we're gonna get 3 horse-drawn carriages. 1, 2, whoops. We've got 4. Let's sell this one. Set to line. There we go. All right. And now we're just going to speed it up. Whoops. Turn around, yo. You too. We'll let the other one go. It's okay. It's not going to hurt nothing. Okay, now we have to wait a minute for the farm here to realize it actually has a connection to the storage house over here. So that just takes like a month there. See, it usually happens on the month for whatever reason. Now they're running it. There we go. So we completed this with 2.92 million in our budget still. Okay, 1 and 2. All right.
Let construction begin. In order not to fritter away our meager starting capital already on the first leg of the journey, it'd be sensible to choose a route that avoids costly blasting operations to build tunnels.
Okay. So that would be this valley right here. So I've got a note here. All right, so 52K right up to the corner of the farm. So right up into here. So take your track. Oops, game's paused. Put it on slow now. Take your track. Do 52K right around here somewhere. Okay. 43K. You know what? Got our little contour thing that can be helpful. Before. Okay, last time this cost 43K, but this is 26. This is a pleasant surprise. Let's see here. So between the 2 rocks, I went up to. No, I don't think so. 43K right up to the mountain. This is a lot less than 43K, so that's a good thing. Okay. Save some money there. Then we go up to these 2 rocks. Kind of more to the left here. Wow, 110K. What did this cost me last time? 53K. Yeah, see. So we saved some money there, but it's costing us an arm and a leg here to go across this gap. Oh, we can go. Let's do this instead. So 20K. We're still doing really good with our budget here. Okay, I guess we'll just follow the road for now. Okay, that's a little too much money here. Yeah, come up to here, like that. There we go. And the most budget-conscious bridges, usually right along this bridge, or near it. Let's see, cross the bridge. Just like that. That's usually the cheapest bridge you get, right next to this existing bridge. Okay. Make a curb out here. We can get up to 73 miles an hour usually. No train goes faster than 60 in this scenario, so we'll just stop right along here. Just line it up with the street there. So 71 mile an hour curve, that's faster than any train we have. Okay, so now, here's the tricky part. I just bulldoze this and this, alright? Then I build a passenger, the passenger seat, it cost 88 or 89, right here. What I do is I add the street connection, which really doesn't bring up the price anymore. In fact, it's showing less money. So I put a street connection on that, and I just connect it just like that. We're going to send the railroad right past the left-hand side of this Indian village. All right, but in the meantime, we're going to swing the railroad around here to here. And 28, is that about right? Last time it was 32. We're actually doing a lot better than last time.
Wonderful. This one leg completed already.
All right.
However, we're already encountering our first difficulties. It was very good of the government to place this land at our disposal free of charge. If it weren't for those damned Indians. They've pitched their tents right in the middle of our planned route. Our scouts seem to think they're rather displeased with the white man and his iron horse, and that's us.
Okay. So, I don't think this is actually how it happened in history.
Those damned Indians.
Okay.
They're sabotaging
Let's
our
keep
work
the
and are
name
said
calling
to have physically
down.
attacked some of our men. We need to do something. We have various options. Either we buy them a piece of land of equivalent value, which could get pretty costly, or we could settle it the old-fashioned way, which would probably cost us our good reputation in certain circles. Or else we could try to bribe them with firewater, although its consumption is known to make one rather aggressive.
All right. No need for calling names. We're just going to buy and exchange land, okay? That's what we're going to do. This may not be how it happened in history, but this is how it should have happened. So now we're just going to take a straight shot here to Rawlins, and we are going to do the same thing here. We're going to bulldoze this. Bulldoze that. 2 sections. Bulldoze 2 sections. You'll find out why a little bit later. That's when we go hook up the freight. So we want this to have a little bit of an angle that way. Otherwise, it won't connect to the Indian. It won't go past the Indian village the way we want. So line it up with a street like this. And we want it to have a little bit of an angle this way to the left. All right. So we grab our track. Okay, 260K for one section. So we can probably get this a little bit cheaper. Okay, so this is 78, so we just want it on the left-hand side here. I see what it is. We're probably going through this contour piece. That's what's costing us the money. So let's get it. Let's get as close as we can, like that. Then we'll go up here. So 78, say 80 and 80, that's 160,000.
The problem with the Indians has been settled, but we've already encountered our next challenge. Before us lie miles and miles of nothing but bone-dry steppe. We'll need to make sure we don't run out of water. However, there should be iron ore deposits that we can exploit to earn a bit of extra money and to produce tools.
Okay. Don't worry about building through the wells right now. Right now we're concerned with money, and the only thing better than money is more money. So we're going to set up our rail terminals, our freight rail terminals here. Press play. Make sure you get a freight terminal. Okay, something like that. Get the country road. Make sure you're connected. Okay, and you can click on your train. They're showing. You can see it's close enough to that. to be connected there. Connect it to your track. There we go. 60 miles an hour is the fastest train in the game, so anything over that is really unnecessary. Now, get our other terminal. Make sure it's a cargo terminal. And there we are. Connect the track into it. Voila. Country road. Connect that to there. Okay, so now I like to put the depot right here on the back end. Okay, now we'll make a new line from here to here. Load on the first one. We'll call this. Now before we set the Iron Horse loose, we're going to do one more thing here. We're going to get a truck terminal. Place it somewhere along here, wherever you can find a budget-conscious space. Down here, where it has access to the industrial buildings in this sector. See? Got them all. That's a nice spot, actually. That's a better spot than I had it previously. We make our truck depot. Try not to get it too close to your major areas of operation. They can get in the way. So now we need a new line from here to here. So load if available. Oops. Raw tools. So it's important to set up the tool line here and not in the other town, and I'll show you why in a moment. This way, when you set up the tools here, the tool line here, the train will actually have a cargo to return with, and that's important. So let's buy a train. Let's start off with this one. You can start off with this. It's a little more tricky. This one takes longer to make delivery, so you pay a lot more for in-transit cargo. Start with here. We go 1, 2, 3, and then 4, but the fourth one is a cargo cart. Then we send that on the Iron Horse. Now we're going to fast forward here. It's going to take about a month to begin the cargo loading here. So you have to reserve enough budget to get your train loaded up and make a delivery without blowing your budget. So I think if you drop down to about 200K, they'll want you to take out another loan. In that case, you've blown, the happy investor medal. There we go. We're loading up. Okay, and we're going to just wait for a full train here because it's cheaper for the train to wait in the terminal than to be running. So we don't really want to run an empty train if we can avoid it. So we have till 1874 to beat the competition. That's in like 8.5 years. And it takes 1 year for the passenger train to run from one end of your tracks to the other, or longer, depending on how you've laid your tracks, or what train is pulling the passenger cart. So you need to be able to launch that train somewhere before 1873 if you want to get the train down there before the competitors. Okay, see, so we're coming close to our 200K budget limit, and our raw tools, is not going to make us any money at first, but what it is, it's going to pull the tools onto the track. But we had to start that. See, it's already cost us almost 1.2K here. Train cost us about 100K to get down to this track, to this area. So it made 222K, so it's making up for these two, but it's going to have to take a couple tries before we can add more carts onto here. So now you just basically watch this train for the next 4 years run back and forth and make you money. And when to buy new carts is kind of a balancing act. You want to buy new carts as soon as you can. However, if you buy them too soon, you'll run out of money and you won't get the happy investor medal, which is what we're trying for. If you wait too long, it's just like you just waste a lot of money. There's a lot of money opportunity loss, so it's quite a balancing act. But I have found that it seems to be best just to let it run 3 or 4 times back and forth. 600k is not enough to buy one cart and get the train back to making money before you run out. So you want at least like 800k or 1,000,000k before you actually purchase a cart, which costs money, and then have to wait for the train to get back on the route and make money again. So you want at least like 800k, 800 to 1,000,000k before you purchase another cart. So 4 carts is all we're stuck with. And at this point, see, we really want to buy more carts because we bought the more powerful locomotive. At this point, this locomotive is less efficient than the smaller locomotive. However, as soon as we add 5 or 6 carts, this locomotive is better than the small locomotive. So we didn't want to buy the small locomotive and have to sell it right away when we bought the new carts. So we just started with this one in hopes to be able to upgrade smoothly here. So see, we're getting kind of low. Fortunately, we're here at the station, and now we'll have something to take back on a return trip. So that's why we set up the tools at the other end of the station, and not here at this town. So we get the train delivering cargo both ways. We are basically making twice the profit. So if you just have the train delivering one way, you're not making that much money, and it's the train that makes you money. The horse-drawn carriages, they're okay, but as you can see up here, this horse-drawn carriage has been in business since forever. It's only made us 20k, and on our first and second trip, this thing has made us 200k. So the train is 100 times more profit than the horse-drawn carriages. So that's where it's at. Oh good, our raw tool horse is now making money. Okay, loaded all the tools. Okay, hopefully after this next trip it'll have 800k. We'll save the game at that point, and we'll try to add on another cart. Hopefully that won't blow our budget. Okay. So we have plenty of tools on the dock at this point, around the terminal. So we are going to purchase another tool cart. Okay, and let's make it normal speed. So we have a little more time to pull this off. Okay, get ready to send it to the terminal, wait for it to offload its tools. Okay, just one tool cart. Or in this case, a box cart. Buy the box cart. Put it on. Go back to the Iron Horse. Okay. So hopefully this didn't blow our budget. Okay, yeah, we're not. It doesn't look like we're going to blow our budget this time. That is fantastic. Okay, the way this is going, we probably want to add another tool cart.
This has been JJ McGillicutty's Tycooning Empire on Total Corruption Gaming with your host, Eric Talon87. Join us again next episode to see whether or not we will be able to beat the Pacific Western Line to the rendezvous point. See you there.